I had this comment where someone was asking me to show what kind of drones I have, and I thought, all right, let's make a video where I show off all the drones I have, and I will tell a little story, and let's get into it. We'll start from that side. So this is the Whoop section, and we'll start with this one. This is the Beta FPV 75X HD. HD because it can record 1080p video on an SD card. It's actually pretty alright Whoop type drone. It uses 3S batteries, and this exact one is a Crossfire version. This was bought to be used on a TV show, but this whole thing happened, the production stopped, and I never had the chance to actually use it for the purpose it was bought. I have flown it few times. It's all right. It captures all right video. It's not the best, but it was just enough for the type of footage I would have to capture for that TV show. This is the Eachine DE65. It's a 2S drone, uses two 1S batteries, and actually this is one of my favorite tiny Whoop drones because it actually has quite a lot of power for the small size, and this is also a Crossfire version, and the range is pretty good. I like the power of it. You can get quite decent speed out of it, and you can do all sorts of flips and rolls, and like you can do freestyle flying with it. It's a fun little drone. It's so small, so light, yet it uses 2S, like two 1S batteries. A fun little tiny indoor and also outdoor drone because it can withstand some outdoor winds and stuff, so it's all right. Hey, what's up, cat? How you doing? What's up, kid? This is my favorite Whoop drone. It's amazing. I have this 3D printed GoPro mount. It came with a small 4K mount. For the small size of it, it's quite powerful. It can lift a full-sized GoPro Hero 10. It does feel like a tank when it's flying a full-sized GoPro 10, but it still can handle it. It can fly up to 2 to 3 minutes with a full-size GoPro. I really enjoy it. It's almost perfect. It's so small, it can fit through places. You can get these really cool cinematic shots with it. And well, the perfect combination with this drone is this with the Action 2. Because Action 2 is so much lighter without the screen module or battery module. Which one do you have? With just the camera mounted here, it's like really good. And if you want to get this mount, I have the link in the description for it, so if you want to get it, go check it out. But yeah, this is my favorite Cinewhoop drone. Now it's time to move on to our middle segment, and we'll start with the smallest one. This is the Iflight Baby Nazgul Nano. It's a 1S tiny freestyle drone, and I just like it for the size of it. I even had the Insta360 Go 2 mounted on top of here, and I was able to fly around 1 minute with it. But without the camera, it's definitely much more fun because you can do all sorts of kinds of flips and rolls and everything. So this is my custom built 5-inch drone that I don't use very often because I tend to break it from time to time. And then I bring it to my friend to fix it because I did not build it myself, and I have this friend of mine who builds them, and he built this for me. It uses 6S batteries. It's quite very powerful, and it has these Mr. Steely Ethics motors that are quite powerful. I don't remember the specs of it, but they're very powerful. It goes very quickly and sounds very frightening. Now it's time to go to the DJI drones. So this is probably my favorite FPV drone. I personally really like this drone. This drone made me feel safe flying FPV because it's, in my opinion, one of the safest FPV drones there is. Because if you lose the signal, it just stops in air and then comes back. And I know that you can build a drone that does that, but they are not as reliable as a DJI drone. And it was my first time experiencing a digital system. And I gotta say, this digital system is like very high quality. The image you see and the flight experience visually is very pleasing. Yes, it's quite heavy. Yes, it's not the most powerful drone. And yes, it's not the most durable drone. There are so many videos and posts on internet about it being broken after crashing lightly. Although I have crashed it lightly. This is still the same drone. I haven't even changed the propellers. I changed them only because I lost one. I still have those and they're not broken. I have been very careful with it. Although I have been getting also some pretty amazing and cool shots with it, flying through places. But yeah, I just have been quite careful with it. And I have had only the best experience with this FPV drone. I always feel the safest with this one. Although I also do feel safe with this one because of the ducts and everything. Even if you crash it, there's a really small chance of it breaking. Now it's time to go to the regular drones. So this is the DJI Mini 2, an excellent tiny GPS regular drone that can capture 4K video, and it's just excellent. Small size, lightweight, feels like a toy, looks like a toy, sounds like a toy, but captures video that can be used professionally. Next, this is the Mavic Air 2. I got this actually quite recently just because I had these anamorphic filters for the Mavic Air 2. They give you these amazing lens flares. It gives you a quite wider field of view. But now that the Mavic 3 has an anamorphic filter, I think I will have to sell this one, or I don't know, maybe the Air 2S. I just think I have just a little bit too many drones here. I don't want to keep them all. I like the HDR mode. That's actually one of my favorite things about this one is the HDR mode. It's quite insane actually what you can get out of this thing. In most cases, the HDR mode looks incredible. If you know how to cut your videos before the HDR is adjusting itself, then this video can look incredible. And the DJI Air 2S, possibly the best price performance drone there is. It's not very big. It's actually quite small. Also does have these sensors, but I wouldn't rely on sensors. I would actually turn them off because they tend to mess up the shots if you are flying really close to things. Quality you can get out of this thing is like really good. And now for the final drone I have is the Mavic 3. This is not the Cine version, this is just the Mavic 3, the regular one. We got it with the Fly More combo. Why I did not get the Cine version? Because I don't care for the ProRes. I saw a comparison, almost the same as ProRes. The sensor is insane, it's big, it can handle quite low light scenarios. The dynamic range is insane. I love it. It's a very powerful drone. Very good for some professional work. Although I was hoping that the 7x zoom camera will be better, but well, it is what it is. Also, I'm insanely happy for this drone because it got itself a anamorphic lens. So now the Mavic 3 also has anamorphic lenses by Ulanzi. They work really well. You have these amazing lens flares, the wider field of view. I'm actually thinking of, do I need the Mavic Air 2 now? Do I need it? Probably no. Probably I don't need it. But then again, it's a smaller drone. I could use it in a scenario where I couldn't use this one, if there would be one. So yeah, I still have to think of what to sell because I have to sell something. I don't want to keep it all. So the question is, which one of these I use the most? The DJI FPV, Mavic 3, the Power 30, and well, actually I haven't been using the Air 2S. I have been using Air 2. The DJI Mini is sitting in the shelf. Use it rarely. So yeah, basically these 3 drones is what I use the most. For indoor type fun stuff, I usually go for the Yashin D65. This one I haven't flown for half a year, for more than a half a year. This one I fly from time to time, but also not very often because it's more of a beginner type drone, and this one is a bit more agile. And this one is also waiting for its, I don't know what, but I don't use it. So the DJI FPV, the Power 30, and the Mavic 3, these 3 drones are the drones I use the most. Hopefully this was useful. Maybe you were able to enjoy this video. If you did, you know what to do. Please hit that like button. It's very, very useful for the algorithms and everything. If you want to see more content about drones and stuff, be sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.